Hello again, I'm William Stewart, co-founder of Teleos. Welcome back to this exciting study on First John. In one way, it's so simple a book. It's written in only 300 words in the original Greek language, yet also so profound for those of you who have been with me for the prior verses, which are on our teleosresearch.com website. It's been really a profound study, and I hope you have enjoyed it. Today we're in chapter 3, verses 20 and 21, and just really several amazing and helpful verses. We're in a section where John, the author, is discussing the measure of love, agape love, the giving love that we should demonstrate as a true believer versus one who does not love, as a unbeliever. So, and he mentions several ways in which a person can do that by having compassion and would help physically those who have a need. For those with an attitude of laying down their life for their brothers, really meaning, as our Savior did for us, really mean being obedient to God's mission for us as found in His Word. I think that's how to relate that to our lives in a specific way. So he ends verse 19 that if we're doing these things, if we're loving a brother, it assures our hearts, again, this measure assures our hearts that we are a Christian. And as I say almost every session, that's the theme of the book, 1 John 5:13, that you may know that you have salvation. So then in verse 20, excuse me, he says, for if our heart condemns us, then God is greater than our hearts and knoweth all things. So what's this saying here? So it's saying if you're a Christian and if you're loving others and your heart still condemns you, then God is greater, God who knows all things is greater than you who is condemning himself. Now, why is this important? Well, several teleos research surveys have shown that evangelicals, all adults, and specifically college students at a major Southeastern university, 70% have some level of guilt. 70%. It's generally not bad guilt. They tend to deal with it, but it's there, and it implies some disruption of their relationship before God, some lack of confidence. Maybe they're not a believer, a small percent. In our surveys, that's probably about 3%. But otherwise, maybe they're insecure in their salvation, which we have videos on this on our website saying that, yes, we are secure if you're a born-again believer by faith alone in the death and resurrection of Jesus Christ. Wow, what a promise. But even for those who are saved and secure, they still feel guilty, like they're doing something wrong, and they come before God with a lack of confidence. And this is saying, wow, if that's the case, and you really are a believer by this test of love, and I would also say the other two tests in the book, proper doctrine and being obedient, if that's your general lifestyle, if that's your heart's desire and your belief in terms of doctrine, then and you still feel guilty, God is greater and will help you overcome that, because you shouldn't feel it. Amazingly, as common as guilt is among Christians, there's nowhere in the epistles, the apostolic letters, what we believe as Christians, that say that we should feel guilty. Wow. So my advice to you is get over it. If you feel guilty, take that to God and allow him then to realize that he's greater than our hearts. And it says, beloved, if our heart condemns us not, we have confidence before God in verse 21. So God, it's saying that God will give you that comfort, that you do not condemn yourself, So you will have that confidence. Indeed, to integrate other scriptures, it's the Spirit's job to give us that comfort, to know that we are his sons, Romans 8:16, and to know that we have hope or salvation, Romans 15:3, I believe that is, plus or minus one or two verses. So God knows that we have this issue. The Spirit's there to help us not to think that way. And also God is greater than our hearts. Okay, great news. If you feel guilty, this is to sum up. If you feel guilty and you're doing generally, realizing we all have daily sin, but if you are desiring and generally obedient and doing the things that please God, if you are loving your brother and helping them, him or her, as you can with what you have, and have compassion, and believe the proper doctrine around Christ, humanity, deity, and his mission as our Savior, then yes, you should have confidence. Take that before God and let him help you. Okay, very important stuff. Thanks for joining me today. I'll look forward to seeing you next time.